Hello, you are listening to the Eagles Podcast Network. This is the College Football Podcast. I'm Ethan Bass.
And I'm Chase Ruge.
Welcome back to another exciting episode. Today is National Signing Day, everyone. So a lot of the recruits across the country are signing with their schools their letter of intent. It should be a fun one. Currently, lots of players have already signed with the early sign period around a month ago. But some players are signing right now. We'll talk about that a little later. But first, we'd like to cover the Super Bowl. Great game number one. A lot of people are saying that the 49ers should have won that game. They kind of blew it. 10 points, What do you think about that Super Bowl?
I think it was a great Super Bowl game. I knew it was going to be a close, especially if it's a 1.5-point favorite towards the Chiefs. I called the Chiefs were going to win. I was right. My score prediction was going to be a little bit higher. I thought it was going to be more a high-scoring game, but
Both
it turned
defenses played good.
Yeah, so. Defenses played good, and then the Chiefs they're 5-0 when they're down by 10 points plus in the NFL regular season and playoffs. So they're a team that comes from behind that knows how to win games, leading with Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes won a Super Bowl. Just think about that.
Yeah, I thought he was going to do it last year. I thought we were going to see that Chiefs-Rams rematch last year that was 55-52 Chiefs in L.A. That was a great game in the Coliseum. But I think Jimmy Garoppolo, he went 20 for 31.
I'm going to give a lot of credit to the 49ers, coming back from a terrible season the year ago. And now making it to the Super Bowl, they're on a rise right there.
Projected from ESPN.com, they were going to have 2 wins this season, and going 15-4 is a lot different. It changes the San Francisco standard of football. I think they're going to be a Super Bowl contender next year against the Baltimore Ravens, in my book. But they played well. Jimmy went 20 for 31, 219 yards, a passing touchdown. And then he had 2 INTs, which late in the game, which ended up the Niners losing. And then also rushing. They did all right on the ground. They had around 150 yards combined on offense of the ground. But they have a strong defense. I think Nick Bosa is a great player.
Great of getting to Patrick.
He got a lot of pressure. He ended up having a sack. But I'm excited to see how San Francisco does next year.
And Tyreek Hill had a great game.
All credit to them. But the Chiefs, man, Patrick Mahomes is the real deal. This guy,
a future quarterback for the future.
Yeah, I think he's gonna set a bigger name than Peyton Manning.
How about Tom Brady?
Tom Brady is tough because he's a winner. He wins a lot of games. This guy, Tom Brady averages 12 wins a season. It's crazy. But Patrick Mahomes, 26 for 42, 286 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had some INTs early, but he was able to fix it up towards the end, and the Chiefs were able to come from behind a 10-point deficit. But I'm very excited for the future of both teams. They both have very young futures, and the NFL right now, there's a lot of young teams, younger than ever. Can you just believe that two of one of the youngest top 10 youngest teams in the NFL have gone to the Super Bowl, and Chiefs and Niners? So it was great.
The crazy thing is, Patrick Mahomes has only been in the NFL for 3 seasons.
3 seasons.
This kid
he has talent. It's
15
just something
more
else.
Years or something. This kid can be something special.
I knew when he came out of Texas Tech, he was going to be the man. But no one else even knew what he was.
Super Bowl halftime show. Do you love it or hate it?
J-Lo, Shakira in the beginning. That was kind of. It seemed like a Mexican band at a restaurant to me. It was like a really nice Mexican restaurant. But then J-Lo started to click in. I know they're both two beautiful women, but it did not end up the way I wanted it to be. But cool. Miami is a Latina city.
Yeah.
So, not my type of Super Bowl halftime.
The lights were cool, though.
There was a lot of cool lights. Yeah. I like the scheme, but not that much. I think Michael Jackson and Bruno Mars are still my 2 favorite.
How about the commercials?
The commercials, they're okay.
It was better last year.
Yeah, better than last year.
The commercial I did like the most was the opening beginning commercial where the kid was running out of the tunnel. All right, now going on to Michigan State, they fired their head coach, right?
Yeah, they fired the head coach, Mark D'Antonio.
Yeah.
This guy, he built a program. He spent at many different places. He decided to step down, and the lawsuit he had, he said it's nothing to affect with him stepping down as head coach and retiring. But, this guy brought Michigan State to a program. They won the 2010 Big Ten Championship, 2013 Big Ten Championship, the 2015 Big Ten Championship. In 2010, they finished up at 14, and in 2013 they were 13-1, but they had the number 3 seed because the college football playoff wasn't existent at the time. But in 2015 they did go number 6 with a 12-2 record, beating Iowa in the Big Ten Championship.
Yeah.
And Iowa was undefeated at the time. So, Michigan State did not have a great recruiting class either.
And this year was a little disappointing in the football season. They went 7-6.
7-6. They've been
4-5 in conference play. That's not acceptable.
Yeah, his bowl record was 7-6. His last 2 seasons were 7-6. And the year before that was a 10-1 season. So it's kind of tough, that decline there from Mark D'Antonio.
Michigan State is a team that can make a college football playoff, but they need to get back up. And do you think that this step for firing Mark is a bigger step?
He didn't get fired. He was retired.
Yeah.
But him stepping down is huge because it's different for Michigan State, the recruiting system. But I think they will head in the right direction. But I'm very interested to see their next hire. But after this class they had this year, he had no 4 or 5 star players. He was all 3-star recruits. I know some teams can't really go out for the 4 and 5 stars, but just develop 3-star players.
Especially being all the way in Michigan.
It's tough.
Florida,
it's tough.
And down here in Florida, you get everyone.
Florida, you can get anyone.
But in Michigan,
the standards are tough. But, I'm very interested to see, so we'll keep our eye close on that.
Speaking of recruiting, today is National Signing Day. Like I mentioned in the intro, there was an early signing day around a month ago. Lots of players went to lots of teams today and signed their letter of intent. Something I know that Florida got Justin Shorter off the transfer. He signed that. He came from Penn State. And
accept them. Having some sexual allegations at Penn State is pretty tough. It's just hard, man. That's up to the NCAA, but at the end of the day, you can't be doing that stuff.
The transfer portal these past few years they have really lenient of letting people slide.
Yeah, I don't think it's great they do that either. To have 1 year. You can't even. You should be able to sit out a year. It's just very unfair. Mm-hmm. They should allow. When you pick your university on signing day, it used to be more meaningful to have your choice of picking your university because you're going to be playing for the next 3 or 4 years. But, half the time it seems like these guys transfer now because there's not enough opportunity. You have to be really wise.
I'm pretty sure I heard a story a couple of weeks ago that the Georgia recruit signed his letter of intent, and now he doesn't want to play for Georgia.
Hey, he wants to opt out of Georgia.
You can't do that.
Can't do that, man. You have to be very careful these days.
All right, so I know that you're a Nebraska fan. Mm-hmm. So what's going on with Nebraska recruiting?
We got 3 walk-ons today we've added from schools in Omaha, Nebraska, Lincoln. I'm very excited to see what's going to happen next year with Nebraska because they're probably going to have a top 5 receiving core in all of college football. I'm very excited. Last year we picked up the highest recruit in wide receiver for a slot, Wan'Dale Robinson. We've been moving him around. He's 5'7". This kid is 5'7", and he's playing a slot receiver. But I'm very excited to see other people get a chance. Omar Manning is going to be my favorite because we need someone that's 6'3", 6'4", that can go up and get the ball because Martinez couldn't throw anybody. But, Nebraska's tradition, it has the richest tradition of walk-on players in college football.
Yeah.
And I want to see some linemen, but we have a couple guys that could possibly sign today. But I'll keep your eyes posted. What about your Florida Gators, Ethan?
I think with that we're doing pretty good. Dan Mullen has brought in a top 10 class. Very proud of him. A lot of people are struggling down since Florida's not that good. Because Mullen's not that good of a recruiter, but I think he's done a good job bringing in these transfer wide receivers and Shorter, like we just mentioned, and also they brought in C.J. Henderson, the possibly first round draft pick for the Gators. His brother's coming in as a wide receiver. And then you have other guys like Dexter and Wingo, like these two D-line and linebacker. Great. I'm pretty sure Dexter's one of the best players in Florida or something. So that's what I heard. I'm very excited for this team. A lot of people are expecting college football playoff, but we have to see if we can beat LSU and Georgia first.
Right. And also Nebraska, they picked up some great JUCOs. We got the number 1 JUCO in the nation this year, Omar Manning. This kid is a stud. He goes up and gets the ball. He's just a fighter. And also, Xavier Betts is going to be a great pickup for Nebraska this year. Also a speedster that's 6'2". But we just needed size this year, and I'm very excited to see what's going to happen. But I don't think much is going to happen on signing day today.
And this year, I agree. I mean, there's fewer recruits than the early signing day, but Georgia has locked in the number 1 class in the nation according to 247 Sports. Pretty big for them. They add a lot of recruits, and good for them.
Yeah, and also it looks like Michigan's lining up today with hold up. They have a quarterback recruit in A.J. Henning. He turned around his commitment today, and he's going to Michigan, and that's a big deal for Michigan right there. And it seems like Michigan's also picked up a linebacker today. I'm very interested in seeing what's going to happen here.
A lot of 3 stars in this national signing day.
And there's a bunch of 4 stars that are coming in the 2022 class today.
Yeah.
That verbal, but we'll see what happens.
All right. We still have some things to talk about here. NBA. Now, how do you like that tribute? I know can I kind of go back to the Super Bowl year, but how do you like the tribute that they did for Kobe?
I mean, the Kobe tribute was amazing. LeBron James, that was his man. They had some great memories together.
I got so emotional when the Lakers did that tribute.
Yeah, I mean, it just really stunk because when seeing Kobe died on the news and then and LeBron was wearing his shoes at the game the night before in tribute. It's just amazing, passing his record. Yeah. But I think the Lakers did a great job. I like how they put the shirts out for number 8 and number 24 on each side of the court. God bless that man. That guy was truly a legend. Top 3 GOATs of all time.
A legend on the court and off the court.
Yep. He was a great father.
All right, last question for the podcast here. Do you think the NBA should transfer the logo to Kobe Bryant's image?
I think they should do a year tribute to the Mamba. I think for the rest of this year, they should change the logo to Kobe Bryant dribbling a basketball, and possibly Gigi as well. I think that would be really cool. Mm-hmm. But I think Jerry West still be the main logo of the NBA.
It's so iconic, but Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, I know. It's so iconic. And also, one last question to you, Ethan. Do you think Damian Lillard should have been an All-Star?
Yes. So was Bradley Beal, man.
I know. Bradley
Beal's a gator.
Averaging 45 points the past week. It's just amazing.
All right, we'd like to thank you for joining us on this week of the podcast. I'm Ethan Bass.